So, technically, are we really watching the Hungriest Man alive?
Like, imagine the toilet sessions. That would have been mad.
What's up, my people? Welcome back.
Unorthodox reactions. Unorthodox intros.
The hell? You can't just interrupt me there. I'm not your girlfriend.
Sorry, I was just really excited.
Don't just finish my sentence. Like
Unorthodox reactions. Unorthodox intros.
finishing my sentences for me. Can you not?
Unorthodox.
Welcome back to another Unorthodox reaction.
Cold.
Another Unorthodox intro. We hope you guys have been well. Today we are reacting to... What are we reacting to, man?
Salmonella. Tarrare, the hungriest man in history.
I'm the third hungriest man.
Alright. I didn't hear that.
Why? Because I'm hungry. Why?
You're not hungry enough.
I am hungry. I'm starving right now.
Have you ever taken part in an eating competition?
I should.
Don't talk to me then until
No,
you do.
I have.
When?
Amongst my cousins. You never said which competition.
That's a fair point.
Exactly.
I apologize for my
Exactly.
outburst,
Exactly.
I guess.
Exactly. And I've won
Yeah.
multiple championships.
Okay, good for you then.
Thank you.
Apparently the third hungriest person in the world.
Exactly.
Who knew?
Play the video.
Yes, sir.
Hey kids, I think we can all agree that there are few pastimes more grotesque than competitive eating. The concept of a bunch of guys pushing their anatomy to its limits just for sport leaves a bad taste in my mouth in more ways than one. But imagine if these men didn't adopt this habit just for fun. Imagine if some gross biological error forced them to eat like this for their entire...
Sorry to interrupt, but I just remembered a story where, I'm not going to go into a full story time, but a guy actually ate a whole aeroplane.
Wait, what?
True story. Type it
Like
in. Search out.
What, like a cake-shaped aeroplane?
Oh, a real thing. He used to eat metal.
Or metal?
Yeah. Search it out.
What, like over like a year or like?
Yeah, not in a day, not in one sitting.
Or like enough metal to build an aeroplane or an actual aeroplane?
I'm pretty sure it was an actual aeroplane.
Okay, hold on. I need to search it. Alright, so apparently the guy's name, what was his name again? Monsieur Mangital.
Also nicknamed
Michael
Mr. Eat All.
Lotito was his name.
Mr. Eat All.
Over the course of his career, his diet included 18 bicycles.
I've only had 3 in my life.
7
Not eaten. I've actually only rode 3 in my life.
I wasn't even gonna touch that. I was like,
No, I've only rode 3. Yeah.
7 TV sets, 2 beds,
Crazy.
15 supermarket trolleys.
He was going shopping and taking supermarket trolleys.
He thought that was part of
they thought
the
oh,
supermarket trolley was part of the shopping. He writes a list of trolleys on the best of the list.
He would literally go to a supermarket and he would walk over with just a trolley and they'll be like, "Oh, you're not buying anything?" He's like,
I did.
No, this is alright.
This is my dinner for today.
Just took it home.
A computer, a coffin, handles and all apparently. A pair of skis and 6 chandeliers. That's
pretty damn impressive by anyone's standards.
Oh, and apparently
in 1978
aeroplane.
Yeah, in 1978 he ate an over
150 aeroplane that is to say he began eating in 1978 because it was a laborious piece by piece process that took 2 years. Finally, in 1980, he emerged from the epic battle of man versus flying machine victorious. So it took him 2 years to dismantle and eat a whole aeroplane.
Yeah.
But why though is the question.
So technically, are we really watching the Hungriest Man alive?
Like, imagine the toilet sessions. That would have been mad.
Sorry guys, that was just off course, but yeah.
Because you can't even digest, the body can't digest that. So
I don't know how he was doing
break that out. Like,
how?
I don't know. He has to like cut it into like little pieces enough to because it's metal, so like swallowing it as well.
Scrooge thing. He wasn't biting it. He must have just been.
He must have just been like pelican deep throat and everything.
Bro,
Like,
what?
just swallowing.
How, bro? Like,
I don't know.
how you eating a bike, bruv?
That's crazy.
Yeah, guys, that's off topic, but
That's
yeah, I
wild.
felt like that. You guys needed to know that piece of information.
That's crazy.
Back to it, guys. Let's
I
go.
guess.
Their life. Introducing
But I mean,
Tarrare.
let's not dismiss
Tarrare
him.
was born in
Let's just
France
wait till
around
the end of his story.
1772 to a poor farming family. It's said that his appetite was so voracious that, by his teens, Tarrare could eat an entire quarter of a cow carcass in a single day. You'd think he'd be like mega obese, but no, he only weighed 100 pounds by age 17. However, there were still a few things that stood out about
That's not
Tarrare
bad.
appearance-wise. For one, he had a
Being a
huge,
quarter cow a
stretched-out
day.
mouth with horribly stained teeth. He could reportedly fit 12 eggs in his cheeks at once, much like a chipmunk keeping its chipmunk eggs warm. Additionally, when Tarrare was full, he'd get a crazy octomom gut going, and any other time, he'd have a huge flap of
bloated.
stretched out skin hanging around his waist. He also stank to high hell, even by 18th century French peasant standards. He was described as reeking, quote, to such a degree that he could not be endured within the distance of 20 paces. So between all this and his horrendous outhouse flooding dumps, his family had had enough. Alright, you're eating us out of house and home here. You gotta go,
Get them
man.
out.
You heard me. Kick bricks, Froggy. Wow, he just called a French
That's
person a
messed up.
frog. That's so racist. No, it's not. They're all French. The guy just looks like a frog is all. Oh. Well, too late. I'm already offended. That's fair. Dislike. After leaving home, Tarrare was forced to beg and steal just to satisfy his gargantuan appetite. Inevitably, people began to take notice of him, and eventually he landed a
But
job
yeah,
as a...
that would be actually like so inconvenient for the people them days because livestock was pretty much like the way of life. That was basically as good as like money.
Yeah.
So for him to be able to just eat
Everything.
like a quarter of their livestock in like a week.
No,
it-
one sitting.
No, like in a week, because like he can eat one cow in one sitting. But
Oh yeah.
a quarter of the, like, so he can eat maybe like 7 cows in a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, this is good money you're eating away. I'm gonna have to start giving you all these cows.
street performer in Paris. People would hand Tarrare entire baskets of apples, eggs, and even wine corks, and watch in delight as he horked them down without the
Wine
slightest
corks.
hesitation. Normally, this went off without a hitch, except for one time when he suffered a severe intestinal blockage. Fortunately, the crowd was kind enough to carry him to the hospital, where he was treated with the strongest laxatives the 18th century had to offer. I would draw what happened next, but it would probably get my channel deleted, so let's just picture it for a few moments.
I'm good. No. Moving on.
Moving on.
on,
Cut to the
thank
year
you.
1792. This marks the beginning of the War of the First Coalition. Ever heard of it? Me neither. Who was in it? Fucking everyone. Anyway, Tarrare decided to enlist in the war. After all, maybe that profound emptiness he was feeling was just a lack of purpose in life. Turns out, no, he really was just psychotically hungry. Even after being granted quadruple rations, Tarrare would still be digging through the trash pile whenever he got the chance.
Bro,
After
I would be mad if I was like on his team in that war.
Why?
Cause like he's getting quadruple the rations that I'm getting. I'll be looking at him like, bro, you better be like friggin' the first person on that charge leading it. Like I want to be the first person you see.
Nah, they should have just gave him dead bodies to eat.
To be fair, it probably would eat at this point. Like
Gotta give up and feed
like
him.
after the war, they send him to no man's land. Like there's your dinner, right?
Forget feeding him. Give him better.
That's messed up.
suffering extreme exhaustion, he was sent off to the military hospital in Tarrare. The staff there were so dumbfounded by the man's abilities that they decided to keep him there to run a few experiments. The first of which involved putting Tarrare in a room with a meal prepared for 15 people. Naturally, he ate the entire thing and immediately fell asleep. Next, they presented him with a raw eel. In response, Tarrare crushed the eel's skull between his teeth before slurping down the entire creature in one go. Now, this is hair-clenchingly horrifying for a couple of reasons. Firstly, he put a whole frickin' eel in his stomach.
But do you know how bony an eel is?
That's nasty, bro.
Like that's painful.
Crushed it with his freaking.
With his teeth, yeah. And just swallowed it whole as well.
Just ate that.
Secondly, there had to be some point during digestion where the meat was gone but the bones still remained. Now, for those of you who don't know, an eel skeleton looks like this. That means
is
Tarrare had
painful.
all of those needle-sized
Including the
ribs stabbing
skulls.
into the walls of his stomach at once, and he was fine. He also ripped a live cat apart with his bare hands, drank its blood, and ate everything but its bones, and then later
He's a
gagged up the fur
vampire
and skin
now.
like an owl, but you know, that's neither here nor there. After reviewing our data, I've come to the scientific
I would have
conclusion
to see
that,
this to believe it.
yeah, we got a goddamn demon on our hands. But as we all know, with great devour comes great responsibility. Since Tarrare was still technically enlisted, the military decided to utilize his abilities for the greater good. Hey Tarrare, it's
swallow
me,
stuff
the
as a
General.
spy and
Listen,
then
could you eat this box with a note in it for me?
transports it.
Aw. If you do it, we'll give you a wheelbarrow full of
I don't
bull
think
organs.
X-rays existed in them days,
Lo-
innit? I don't think X-rays existed in them days, innit?
What?
X-rays.
I don't think so.
So they wouldn't be able to see it even if they search him because
Yeah,
it's
no,
in his
they wouldn't,
digestive
yeah.
system.
They wouldn't.
And all they have to do is just wait for him to break it back out.
And behold, 2 days later, he passed the container in mint condition and was given his reward as promised. With this proof of concept, they made him an official spy and sent him into Prussia with a document in his belly to be.
But can we also like realize like how wide his like
Arsehole.
yeah, it has to be
Not just him, the guy who was eating airplanes as
to
well.
be able to just like break out all it is. But no,
Because he has to break out all the metal.
yeah.
Be
That's
delivered to an
crazy.
imprisoned French colonel. Unfortunately, there are a couple things Tarrare couldn't do that are generally important when sneaking into another country. A, he couldn't speak German, and B, it's pretty hard to maintain a low profile when you're running around like a
The President
madman
should have
wolfing
trained
down
him better
garbage
as a
and
spy.
mutilating small animals. So he ended up being captured by the enemy. Initially, he kept his mouth shut, for once, but after a whipping and a day in jail, Tarrare gave in. After confessing that he did, in fact, have vital intelligence snaking its way through his GI tract, the Prussians chained him to a latrine until the box emerged 30 hours later. The note wasn't actually anything important, so they just mock executed him, gave him a severe beating, and sent him on his way.
Mock-executed.
After all that, Tarrare returned to life at the hospital, desperate for a cure for his condition, but nothing they ever tried worked. Meanwhile, the man's endless hunger continued, desperate for a cure for his condition, but nothing.
Tobacco pills, opium, tincture, vinegar, juice, cleanse. Tell him to just quit being fat. Throat cork, give up and start a business making IRL wool. I think that says wool.
Nothing they ever tried worked. Meanwhile, the man's endless hunger continued to get him into all sorts of trouble. He'd often sneak out of the hospital to eat the scraps behind the local butcher and fight stray dogs in the alley for their precious garbage. He'd also seek out patients undergoing bloodletting in order to take all their life juice for himself. On several occasions, he was even caught attempting to eat bodies in the mortuary.
See,
By this point in my
right.
research, I was so
Look at
desensitized to
buddy.
this guy that I didn't even bat an eye when I first read that. I was just like, alright, guess he must have been hungry. Anyway, the hospital staff begrudgingly tolerated Tarrare's buffoonery, until one day when he went too far. Well, Tarrare, you've only had 3 mess hall raids, 4 miscellaneous trash-related mishaps, and 1 cadaver defiling, so I'd say, so far, this week's been pretty good. Doctor, we should probably inform you that a 14-month-old child has gone missing from their room.
No.
Tarrare, look at me.
No.
Did you eat a fucking baby? Tarrare was promptly kicked out of the hospital and spent
I'm
4 years
surprised they
out and
didn't
about
execute
doing,
him
you know,
after
whatever
that.
horrific shit you can imagine. When he came back, he was suffering from advanced tuberculosis and died shortly after arrival. During his autopsy, the surgeons found that when they looked into his mouth, they could see all the way down his throat and into his stomach cavity. As you can imagine, his whole abdominal region was
that
profoundly
doesn't sound
deformed.
normal.
Basically, if this is a normal human, this is what they found inside Tarrare. Just like the man's mind, we can see that around 90% is devoted towards food and 10% towards everything else. So, moral of the story
So-
here
so
is
he
that,
was
no,
basically
you know what,
built
not
to
even I
eat.
can find anything resembling a
Bro, he would have made a killing in eating competitions nowadays.
No, because he would have killed himself.
Eating competitions, that would have been nothing for him.
No, because there's not enough eating competitions he can attend.
No,
Ate
'cause,
like this on
bro,
a daily.
do like men versus food. He'll be killing it. Go everywhere. You know the challenges that they be doing.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
finish
yeah,
it,
yeah.
he could do that on a daily. Like just go around, like especially if it's in America. Do you know how many of them there are?
Control himself even when they were giving him food.
Yeah, I know,
Couldn't control himself.
but that's what I'm
Couldn't eat a
saying.
dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He would win every single one.
He's gonna go insane, bro. Because
He might,
when they're not
but he's
filming,
doing
when they're
every
not
single one.
filming, he's gonna have to eat normal food.
Oh, I'm not talking about film. I'm just talking about just regular normal
Oh,
day. Just
okay.
go around doing the challenges.
Oh, okay. Just go up at a restaurant like,
Yeah,
what's your heaviest challenge?
I'm gonna do it
If I win, I don't have to pay, right?
like free food every time.
moral here. Not all stories have a point to them. Sometimes they're just sad and disgusting from beginning to end. And now a word from our sponsor. As you can probably tell, I'm a very visual person when it
Alright, guys. We don't need to listen to your sponsor. Good
I
luck,
don't know
yeah.
why you all never want to listen to like.
I don't care about them sponsors.
They gotta make their money too, though.
I appreciate the fact that they've got to make their money.
Yeah, like they're making this content for people to enjoy it. We enjoyed it. Like you don't even want to watch their sponsors. Despicable.
Watch their sponsors in private. I appreciate
You
them.
don't.
I do, 100%.
That's
I
a
watch all of their
bold-faced
sponsors
lie.
in private. Guys, that's been another Unorthodox reaction. It's been another Unorthodox outro.
Cold.
Just so you know, don't eat like these guys, please. Don't eat.
I don't think
bloody
you.
plain.
If you can eat like
Don't
these guys,
eat,
seek some help.
Don't eat a dog. Don't eat a dead body. Just don't.
Eat food, normal food.
Yeah.
Really.
And
That's
all my
the
vegans out there
message.
saying, don't eat animals.
Could be
Eat
worse.
animals.
It could always be worse.
Exactly, yeah, just cook them, innit? Like... I'm joking. But yeah, guys, if you're still here with us, we appreciate you. If you're not, we still appreciate you. Thank you guys for checking in again with another video. Stay blessed and
We'll
look after
see you in
yourself.
the next one
Yes, one.
in a bit.
Yes, one.